Hello, excuse me. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and everything in between. Welcome back to Geeks Watch. Today, I want to talk about the film Gross Point Blank, an image of which you will see here. I think it's come out in '96, late '90s, somewhere in there. There'll be some minor spoilers here. This film stars John Cusack as Martin Blank, who is basically a hitman. He's a contracted assassin. And as the film opens up, he's kind of disillusioned with the job. Not too much, but it's like his heart's not really in it anymore. During one of his jobs, his handler, the woman who lines up his gigs for him, says he got an invitation to his 10th class anniversary, his 10th class reunion. One of the early plot points of the film is that there are competing assassins. One guy will take a job to kill someone, another guy will take a contract to save their life. So you've got different hitmen out there doing different jobs, and there's one guy named Gross, Groce, I think it's his name. Or is it I can't remember his name. It's Dan Aykroyd's character. Anyway, his job, he wants to create like a union so they can avoid taking conflicting jobs. Cusack's character named Martin Blank wants nothing to do with it. Anyway, after like a botched assassination attempt, he's basically told he has to take a job for free to make up for failing, for screwing up a previous job. And it turns out it's in the town nearby where his high school class reunion is going. So you basically have someone who's going back to his hometown as an assassin. Like he's using his cover to be there as that he's going there for his 10th class reunion. And he hasn't been home since he left. He finds out his house has been replaced with like a convenience store. Other little details. He also runs into his ex-girlfriend, the woman he abandoned on prom night. He just ghosted her. Just didn't even show up to pick her up for prom. He just left town. He bumps into her. So there's that's played by Minnie Driver. Her character name is Debbie. So Martin and Debbie kind of rekindle their relationship. She is the local town disc jockey that plays as a DJ on the radio station. So you have these couple little stories going on. You have assassin in town for his class reunion, little rom-com adventure with Debbie and Martin, and the third plot line is, the third plot line is Dan Aykroyd trying to create an assassin's union. John Cusack's character Martin, when people ask him what he's been up to for the last decade, he basically tells them he's a contract killer, and they all assume he's joking. He's perfectly honest about what he's been doing for the last 10 years, but everyone thinks he's joking. I love John Cusack as an actor, and this is one of my favorite films of his. He's good at dry, deadpan humor. He's also good at being completely bonkers. But in this film, he's very much his dry, deadpan humor delivery. He's just completely matter of fact about fairly everything. I mean, he does get flustered around his ex Debbie. There is actually a town called Grosse Pointe, I found out in researching this film. The person who wrote the screenplay actually wanted to place it there, but they couldn't. It was more convenient to film in somewhere else. I can't remember exactly where it was filmed, but they couldn't film it in Grosse Pointe, Michigan. But yeah, John Cusack is one of my favorite character actors. He's just so good in everything he does. And even he gets stuck with these quirky roles. and I'm not sure if he gets typecast or not, but he's good at playing either this deadpan delivery or the wacky off the wall kind of characters. But I mean, he was in Con Air as a policeman. I can't remember exact, but he was in Grifters as a con man. He is actually a very, very good actor. But I do think he gets typecast a lot in this type of characters. But this is one of my favorite films that he is in, and like I said, he is one of my favorite character actors. What did oh yeah, about the making of the film. There was some conflicting information that I found, although it does wind up being similar. It comes from Minnie Driver, actress who played Debbie, and the director. Minnie Driver said that the script wasn't working, that it just wasn't coming together, and that John Cusack went to the producers and said, look, let us shoot the script as written and then let us improvise our lines. Then shoot side by side. You can watch the dailies and you can see which ones you like better. The director said that that was his decision all along, that he would, that's like his directing style. He would say he would shoot as scripted, and then just let the characters like set the tone and say, okay, just come at me with whatever you can come at, to stay in character, stay with the basic plot points, just improvise the scene. So whether it was John Cusack's decision to do it or it was the director's decision to do it all along, the one thing that everyone involved does agree with is that it worked much better with them improvising. Most of this movie was improvised because the script just wasn't as funny as these actors just getting into character, blocking out the scene, and then just going with whatever they thought would work best. And whether it was John Cusack or the director, there's no denying that it worked. This film did very, very well in the box office, based on its budget. I mean, it's a rom-com. It's not an expensive film to make. I think it made like $30 million off like a $2 million budget, something like that. So very profitable. I think it was critically well received. This film has one hell of a soundtrack, because one of the members of, I think it was the Clash, either the bass player or the drummer, I think, was involved with this film. So this film is like Welcome Class 1986, which was supposedly the year that these characters graduated. So the film itself just has and also the female lead is playing a DJ. So the soundtrack of this film is really just, a collection of great alternative music from mid 80s to early 90s. Violent Femmes, The Cure, The Clash, The Smiths, just all kinds of just great bands from that time period are on the soundtrack. This film has a kick-ass soundtrack, and yeah, there may have been some other things I wanted to say, but I think I pretty much covered everything. The film is just really solid too. I mean, it, as someone who has had to go to my class reunion, not had to, but I did choose to go to my 10th class reunion. Yeah, just the people that come around and catching up with people you haven't seen in 10 years, and just the goofiness of it, the awkwardness of it, and even sometimes finding people that you can catch up that you didn't realize you had so much in common with 10 years ago. Bumping into people like, man, we just never connected in high school, and just, wow, we get along really well now, kind of stuff. It really does capture, in a very comedic way, that feeling of going back to your 10th class reunion. And it's funny as hell. John Cusack nails his role. Minnie Driver is very cute. A very attractive young woman. Although I'm guessing she's about my age, so I wouldn't call her a young woman anymore, but she's still pretty cute. Anyhow, I guess that's all the rambling I could do about that film. I really liked it. I gave you the basic plot points without spoiling too much of it. Yeah, go watch it. I like it. As always, thanks for watching. As always, my stuff is crap. And until next time, good hunting.